Welcome back to another Ideas Spotlight here on Beyond the Brick. I'm Joshua Hanlon, and today I'm joined by Bricks O'Brien as well as Tiago with his fantastic Animal Crossing project. Thanks so much, everyone, for joining us for another look at a incredible ideas project here on Beyond the Brick. I want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Clone Army Customs. If you've been looking for Lego Star Wars minifigures or accessories for your Star Wars mock, look no further than Clone Army Customs. They make fantastic, high-quality products. Make sure to check them out at clonearmycustoms.com, and you can find a link in the description of this video for their website. Now, I am very excited to have both Tiago, who created the Animal Crossing project, as well as our in-house Nintendo expert, Bricks O'Brien, here to take a look at this Animal Crossing idea. And so, Brian, why don't you start us off real quick with giving just a brief explanation, the 30-second overview of what Animal Crossing is as a game for people who haven't played this yet before we launch on into the Lego build.
Animal Crossing is you doing chores and having fun. You knock at trees, you hit a couple of rocks, you hope you get a couple of bells out of it. You replay a loan, you earn some interest on your bells, decorate your house and your town as you want to, make animal friends, and enjoy every aspect about island life in Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is on the Switch, which introduces new crafting mechanics and all new things about the game that has taken the world by storm, especially considering the circumstances we're in. It's the perfect game when you have nothing else to do. So I think that summarizes it pretty well.
I like that.
That's right.
I thought it was really cool. We've actually had a couple fans reach out over the last few weeks where they've created custom wall decorations in their house, as well as clothing in the games with like Beyond the Brick logos on it and stuff like that. So I think you can customize a lot of stuff in that sense, right, Brian?
Yeah, you can basically take any image you want to and then put that into the game. So I've put my own, avatar face in the game, put it on a t-shirt. You can grab pretty much anything you want to. And there's actual artwork in the game you can collect and put in your museum, but you can scan in pretty much anything you want to and create your own pixel art. So people have run wild with it.
Sounds good. So there's a brief overview of the game. Now we'll launch on into Tiago's project. So I guess first question, Tiago, what is it about Animal Crossing that kind of drew you to wanting to create this project based on the game?
Yeah, I guess right now, as Brian said, everyone is locked down because of this world pandemic, unfortunately. And all I heard about in the last couple of months, weeks, was about Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing here, Animal Crossing there. It was flooding my Instagram feed and Facebook and whatnot. So, okay, let's look this up and see what's the deal about this game. And then I started searching for some images and then for some videos on YouTube on the gameplay. And I just fell in love. I really liked the simpleness of the objects and the game characters, and the game pace felt really nice. Something that I would for sure be playing a lot if I owned a Switch. But it was pretty much that, falling in love with the colors, bright colors, and thinking, oh, this could actually be a fun thing to turn into a Lego build. So there was this weekend where I had a couple of hours free. Then I started building the house that you see in there. First of all, I took like a reference image from Google. I just searched for Animal Crossing on Google, Animal Crossing house. And I came up with this really nice image that had this house and some of the details around it. And I just started there. And when I was done with the house, I was like, well, let's just not stop here. So I started searching for other in-game objects and stuff that would be cool to replicate, like the log bench you see there, or the community DIY workbench that you see here in this picture. And it was a fun weekend. It was a fun weekend build. And considering the buzz that there is around the game, I thought that, well, maybe this could be a good idea to submit into Lego Ideas. And here we are talking about it.
And it's been quite successful so far. I think over 3,000 votes. So congratulations on
Yeah,
that. If
thank
people
you.
want to vote for this, definitely look for a link in the description of the video and go over and throw your support behind the project because it is fantastic. So
Please do.
Brian, you as someone who's played the game extensively, what kind of catches your eye with this build and kind of some of the elements that Thiago was able to capture from the game?
I wouldn't say extensively. It's only 140 hours. It's not
Okay,
really
so
that.
you
No.
need some more time before you can really say you've.
Yeah, no, 150 in any word you have is then valid. No, but the idea here is what immediately caught me was that it wasn't necessarily in minifigure scale, which is
Yeah.
what I had always thought for, if they were to do Animal Crossing as a thing, Nintendo and Lego being together, they would probably go with a minifigure scale, but it being in a larger scale than that, it seems like you're able to do more and really expand upon the island aesthetic and capture different sorts of details. Even though Animal Crossing is relatively simplistic, there's still a lot of charm and character that is hidden in there, and that's what this build does right here. It captures the simplicity, but the beauty of it that maybe you couldn't capture with it being just in minifigure scale. So that's what I appreciate about what you've done here. It's looking very nice.
Yeah, and I get a lot of comments on Lego ideas that people, oh, you're lacking the minifigures and whatnot, which is understandable, and that's pretty much one of the most iconic things about the game, I would say. But also the buildings, and what set the scale was that I started with the door detail over there, and yeah, without using prints, doing it in a brick built way. That pretty much set the scale for the whole thing, and that's why it isn't minifigure scale. I'm guessing that if this project ever went through, I think that would probably be a change that the design team would do, is putting it into minifigure scale, because it really is asking for it, and they don't have limitations in terms of the prints they can do, or maybe stickers or whatnot. So they would probably be able to scale this down into minifigure scale, which would be awesome, and then still achieve all of the details that you can see here. But I'm pretty happy, and I'm usually happy about trying to do everything brick built and not using or not having to use prints or stickers. So that's kind of a thing going on with me, maybe from the times I worked in Creator 3-in-1, where you have to use the bricks instead of prints or stickers.
Right. So your work as a Lego designer definitely kind of impacts how you do your builds today.
Yeah, for sure.
Another interesting element of that I wanted to ask you about is when you were working as Lego designer, if I'm not mistaken, you had the opportunity to work on an ideas project, right? The ship in the bottle?
Yeah, that's right.
So I think that's really cool because you've kind of now been able to experience this from both sides, both as the Lego designer who's working on the model after it hits 10,000 votes, as well as now someone who's trying to get his own model to 10,000 votes. So
Yes.
How did that kind of play into the way you designed the set, or even the way you kind of have gotten the word out about it, having been on the other end of that?
I think it didn't play at all. I think, but now looking back, I think it would be kind of funny, like the headlines, like former Lego designer submits a project that gets to 10K. That would be kind of funny. But in terms of having designed this and built this, it had nothing to do with it, and it was actually an afterthought. I just wanted to do the build for the pleasure of building it, but once I looked more closely to it, and considering the buzz of the game, I thought it would be a cool project for Lego Ideas. And since it's been a couple of years since I've submitted something to Lego Ideas, because I've submitted some very unsuccessful projects before working for Lego. So I just wanted to get a feel on how things were going on Lego Ideas around this time. So yeah, everything lined up for this project, but it didn't impact at all the way I designed it. And this is, I'm sad to say, but this is not my proudest moment as a builder, because the build itself is quite fragile, the base and even the house. So I don't want, even though it's here next to me, I don't want to touch it a lot because it's not my sturdiest of builds. I'll be honest.
Well, fortunately, that's Lego's issue to figure out, not yours. If
Yes,
they decide to make it
precisely.
into a set.
Precisely. I'll trust my
Exactly.
former colleagues to do a
Yeah.
very good job on it.
Now, the house, we mentioned earlier about how you can add details like the interior of the house in the game. Were you able to do that with your build at all, or is there just not space there?
No, because I wanted to do the slanted walls that you see in there, the tilted walls, then everything inside is purely structural. So there's no room for interior. But then again, another cool thing that the Lego designers will be able to work on when this gets to 10K, right?
You want to make sure they're staying fully employed over there and
I'm trying. No, not at all. But yeah, so
another cool element of the build, and something that this stands out to me in kind of a lot of different builds that we cover here on Beyond the Brick, is the way that people build Lego trees. There's just like 1,000 variations of the way you can do that. So what was your approach to this tree here in the build, and kind of how that came together for you?
I was just looking at reference images from the game, and I hope Brian can testify if this is looking close to Animal Crossing trees. And then looking at reference images, I saw that the leaves are very close to those Lego leaf elements in shape. So, and since I had a bunch of them, that's where I started and trying to get as close as possible. Also, from my understanding, trees grow fruits in them in the game, and sometimes apples. So yeah, it kind of, and I had the apple element, so it felt like the perfect fit for the tree.
They can be apples, pears, peaches. They can be a wide variety of things depending on what the town sets you up with. But, you know, the apples are what I have in my town, so that works perfectly.
Yes.
The way that the tree... Oh, sorry. The way that the trees look, before, basically, it looked like 3 shrubs together, like 1 and then 2. So, like, it kind of looks like that even still in the newer game. So it looks pretty accurate to me, especially considering, you know, Lego is a square, you know, brick. It works.
Thank you.
You've got Brian's seal of approval on that.
Yes.
Now, Brian, are there any other elements in the game that you would like to see, you know, a project like this maybe expanded on? Like, say, maybe this becomes a set and then Lego wants to do more Animal Crossing things. What are some other elements of the game that you think would be cool to be captured in Lego?
You don't have 2 hours of time, do you? No. Okay.
Tiago doesn't have anything to do.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. Well, so with even if you factor in the interiors for a lot of these builds going forward, then you could really go buck wild with it. Animal Crossing, you start in New Horizons, you start off with a square island. Everyone has the same amount of area pretty much to work with. But things like the general shop, Nook's Cranny, the Able Sisters tailor shop, the museum, a lot of things are very consistent throughout all the different games, throughout its entire franchise. So seeing like this modular museum that could maybe like crack open in the back and you can see all these little like dinosaur molds, or, you know, you have paintings or something like that. See that, you know, built upon. And every time you take out a new loan in the game, you expand your house. So maybe if you buy multiple of the kits, you can expand your house. And instead of being in debt to Tom Nook, you're in debt to Lego with that one. So it works out all the same. So there's a lot of opportunity there. And especially with the villagers, there's hundreds of villagers that they could choose from for figures. So I don't blame you for not wanting to, you know, pick favorites and try to make them in that scale and custom molds. And yeah, so there's still plenty that they can work with if they expanded upon this.
Tiago, you've got plenty of inspiration there for future builds.
Yeah. and this, if this ever went through, I guess with the recent partnership from Lego with Nintendo, with their newest Lego Super Mario line coming up soon, and then I don't know, like some deals have been done already. So if this ever went through, then maybe it could be easier to figure it out, because there's already some business going on between the two companies, rather than the Lego Ideas team having to reach out for a completely new not customer, but a different
license, sort of.
Yes, yeah, for sure. So some work has already been done with Nintendo. So if these or any other project like this get to 10K, I think there would be very high chances of it being produced.
Exactly. There are actually, I believe, 3 Nintendo ideas in the current review stage for on Lego Ideas. There's 3 different projects that tie into Nintendo properties, so there's definitely a lot of interest in people and having sets based on these various properties that Nintendo owns.
Yeah.
Well, Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think Animal Crossing sold like 14 million copies since it came out March 20th. So we're in the beginning of May. So that's pretty good numbers. So people clearly like Animal Crossing. And I think the two, Lego and Nintendo combined, it just makes for so many possibilities, especially with Animal Crossing.
That's for sure. Yeah. So anyone who wants to support this project, make sure you look for a link in the description to Tiago's project. You can go over and lend your support there, help him reach 10,000 as quickly as possible. Yeah. Especially if you've played the Animal Crossing game, then you'll recognize a lot of the elements of this build, and it'd be super cool to see this, as another part of those Nintendo sets. Like Tiago was saying, they're making other ones, so why not add Animal Crossing into the mix as well?
Yeah, for sure.
And before we let you go, Tiago, I did want to make sure we mentioned some of your other projects that you've got going on, because outside of just the Ideas project, you do some really fantastic work on your YouTube channel as well. And so you can tell people kind of about what they can find over there and some of what you build there.
No, thank you. Since I left Lego, I had this project of making a YouTube channel, and I felt that I would like to teach people how to build cool stuff out of their Lego bricks. So my aim with my Lego channel my YouTube Lego channel is to make a building tip every single day. So teaching people how to build a different object, usually furniture, vehicles, and stuff like that. Yeah, so there's the latest one, the Lego printer for your Lego offices. And yeah, so that's the aim of the channel, and things are going really, really well. I'm happy. So I haven't gotten my first paycheck yet from YouTube, but it's close. So I guess now I can say I'm a YouTuber.
Influencer. Yeah. You can start calling yourself an
Yes, the Lego influencer. Yes. But yeah, if people want to check those out, please do, and subscribe, because I only missed like 2 days since the beginning of the year when I started to post daily building tips. So there's our chances of seeing a new Lego build every day.
That's a super impressive workflow. Yeah, that takes a lot of dedication. Do you record these in kind of batches, or do you sit down every day and do a new one?
With the lockdown, it's been kind of hard because, I'm locked at home with my family, 2 small kids. So most times it's like a day-to-day thing. But when I have more time, I can do some batches, and that allows me to focus on mock builds as well, like the Animal Crossing, or I've made a Charizard. I've also made like a big supermarket mock. So yeah, there's shiny Charizard.
Oh yeah, Brian doesn't like Pokemon, so he's not interested in that one.
No. Whenever I can do the batch stuff, then that allows me for bigger mocks, just to build more complex stuff, because usually what I try to focus on it's small builds that people hopefully will have the pieces at home so that they can build along. It's not easy, but so far, like I said, I missed 2 days since the beginning of the year, so I think things are going well.
That's right. Yeah. Well, that's super impressive. I think it's really good, really helpful for people working on their own mocks, because you show how to make some of these smaller elements. So maybe somebody has a house or something, and they could watch a lot of your videos to find details on how to make the interior elements on decorations, or like a printer, whatever it might be, things like that. Yeah. So for people who are working on builds, you can find a lot of good tips.
Yeah. I just finished, if you guys allow me to show it.
Sure. Let's see what this is.
Exclusively here on Beyond the Brick. So I made this mock today using some of my smaller builds, the playground slide, the seesaw, the sandbox and swing. So I made a playground mock.
They kind of incorporated several different elements of videos you had done.
And that's what I did with my big supermarket mock a few weeks ago, because I was building a lot of these small details and the checkout counters and freezers and whatnot. And then people started suggesting me, oh, you should build a big supermarket. And and that's what I did along the course of some live streams. And and this was another mock. I figured that I had so many of these small mocks that would play nicely into a playground, larger build. And here it is.
And it looks great. Yeah. So thanks for showing that off. Studio Brickton in the chat says he just subbed to you. He looks forward to seeing those tutorials. So thank you for that. Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much.
You can make sure to look for links to the Animal Crossing Ideas Project, as well as Thiago's YouTube channel, in the description of the video, and check out everything that he has to offer there. Look forward to more projects and more videos from you in the future, Thiago. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Very welcome. My pleasure.
And thank you, Brian, for lending your expertise on Animal Crossing. Whenever we have any Nintendo-related videos, it's good to have you here.
Absolutely, and best of luck to you with the project. Hope it goes to 10,000 and gets the approval. Let's see.
Thanks, Brian.
Thank you so much for watching, everyone. We'll see you soon on another live stream. Bye.